Hello there, dreamers. This is where I attempt to interpret my dream, where the work is done. Admittedly, this is not something I have a great deal of experience with, despite having now documented hundreds of my dreams. Hence the purpose of this channel, to help me explore their possibilities and meanings, and in the process, hopefully inspire others to pursue this wondrous and mystical art form of dreaming. Also, a little disclaimer. I'll be mindful not to divulge any information I deem to be too sensitive, but will try to give as much context as possible. So please bear with me as I take my first steps on this journey at making my subconscious conscious. If you have not seen my performance of the Actor's Cube, I highly recommend you watch it before we delve into this interpretation. But to summarise this big dream, I find myself at an acting school and encounter some interesting characters that embody powerful femininity, masculinity, and the divine. There is compassion, empathy, empowerment, assertiveness, conflict, and acceptance, with an intriguing motif of 3 and 4 throughout the dream. Now for the interpretation. Despite the small, dimly lit classroom being crammed full of people, there is a calmness. It is warm, and the lighting is soothing, suggesting a comfort and intimacy with my subconscious. A trust and safety has been forged. It is a place for vulnerability and learning. Mountains often symbolize the essence of God, which makes sense as there seems to be a great many archetypal figures represented in this dream. The artist, collectively in the students, the sage seen in the teacher, Freya the Anima, Garth the Animus, and the shadow with the cube itself. The meaning of the oriental cat perplexed me for some time, but suddenly it invoked strong memories of my old cat Nero. He was powerful and proud, but soft and nurturing, who worshipped my other cat Shawanda, invoking feelings of a pure masculinity contrasting against Garth's vileness. I also have a very strong affinity for cats and consider them to be divine creatures. I have worshipped my cat Shawanda like a goddess since the day I got her almost 18 years ago now. For 3 actors, 3 knocks on the glass and repetition of "I hate you" 3 times is an interesting reoccurrence of 3s. The first thing that comes to mind is the Holy Trinity, the Father, Son of God, and Holy Spirit, which admittedly is not something I currently have much understanding of. It also brings forward the Jungian motifs of the divine, the shadow, and the self, which reinforces the idea of a coming together of many aspects of self, that then unify into the cube, symbolizing a wholeness, the Quaternity. With the cube being black and covered in old gnarled thorns, it suggests hostility, something that has been locked away, a shadow, something I have protected myself from. It is a wholeness that has been long left abandoned. To bring it all together, I have struggled a great deal my whole life with masculinity. I was witness and victim to its raw rage, violence, arrogance, and entitlement from childhood. Although those wounds are now mostly scars, I still to this day see how masculinity has a vileness and sickness to it that continues to reject me. Often I am still laughed at by men for having the audacity to assert myself in a way that is not aligned with the warped interpretation of today's masculinity. Thankfully, despite the criticisms, I have lived my life so far with a great deal of intrigue and explored at great length what it means to be me, Zane, without fear of how the world perceives me. Yet that monster of the masculine resides in me as well. I have seen it, felt it, lost myself to it, hurt others because of it. It terrifies me. At times I have felt ashamed and embarrassed to be a man. There has been a neglect to my masculinity, a fear an underappreciation of its power and beauty. But now is the time to embrace that monster inside of me and tend to it with love and empathy, to allow it to flourish in me and in others without fear. It is time to begin. I wish you all a deep sleep with insightful dreams.